Okay, we have been overwhelmed with people asking my thoughts on Bridgerton, the latest Netflix melt your heart drama. I'm watching this with you live so you can see my reactions. Maybe I can spot some little etiquette bits and bobs to point out the do's, the don'ts, the parts they nailed, the parts maybe they didn't, I don't know. I'm so excited to dive into this. Wait, what's going on? Wait, somebody warned me not to watch this around grandparents, depending on who your parents are. Chandelier. Definitely not children, but oh, aw. I miss London. Wow, look at the costumes.
Square, 1813.
I used to live right next to that. So Grosvenor Square, during this time, 1813, would have been the Regency era. The Regency era is one of my favorite eras of all time, not only because it was so romantic in so many different ways, but also it was quite salacious. There was so much drama that would happen in society, and the stories are incredible. This is also this is the Jane Austen era, really, so think of it that way. The Regency era only lasted actually for 9 years, from 1811 to 1820. Now, here's the scoop. King George III was ruled not fit to rule himself. So who steps in? Prince Regent, who at the time was the Prince of Wales, hence the name, the Regency era.
The time has come to place our bets for the upcoming social season.
3 months. I was able to squeeze my waist into the size of an orange and a half when I was Prudence's age. Your sister shall do the same.
Far better odds.
Oh. Okay, but that actually really did happen. That's really how they used to dress. And during this era, it's just what happens. Can you imagine having to squeeze into one of those?
You appear displeased.
Household of the widowed Viscountess Bridgerton.
Now, that's one thing that a lot of Americans and people globally really mispronounce, the word Viscount or Viscountess. So a lot of people say Viscount or Viscount.
Awful.
So just so you know, that is spot on, so you can use your terminology correctly.
I feel like a princess. Do I look like one?
You truly wish to know what I think you look
On
like.
your left. Hot, Gregory.
Is our dear sister still not ready?
Oh, she's
Oh.
ready.
Can you imagine dressing like this all the time? This was just normal. How amazing is that? I mean, to me, if a gentleman walked in the door in now modern day times, I think everyone in the world would just swoon. Back then, they don't even look twice. It's pretty incredible, right? It's just so well done, and they dress so well, and it was really to show respect to everybody around them.
Run upstairs and hasten her along. No, Colin, wait. I'll do it. She likes me much better than you, Benedict. Did you say that? Everyone says that. Oh.
Ooh, sassy.
You must make haste.
Well, that wasn't very ladylike.
Should you think she heard me?
Stop it.
Ooh, look at her. She got that down, that Windsor wave, fingers together, and a little wave like that. Yeah, who is that? Oh, wow. Oh, I literally wish I owned all these tiaras. Now, remember, tiaras are worn at a 45-degree angle. Cha-ching.
Should your brother wish to be obeyed as Lord Bridgerton, he must act as Lord Bridgerton. Where is he, Benedict?
I do not know.
That was beautiful. Did you see that? When she steps out of the carriage and then the gentleman just puts out his arm like that and she just rests her arm very gently as she steps out. Beautiful. I wish someone did that to me every day. Whew.
Anthony, you're here.
Of course I'm here, sister. I'd never miss such an important day for you and our family.
No, you would just be late for it.
Okay, in real life, that's obviously not a brother-sister duo, and that must have been really difficult for her to look at him like a brother. I'm just saying, because
Today is a most important day, and for some, a terrifying one. For today is the day London's marriage-minded misses are presented to Her Majesty, the Queen.
Ooh. Note, it is Her Majesty the Queen is the official way that you would always address the Queen. First time. Second time, ma'am, rhymes with jam. But you would always, at first, use that very, very important title. Good job.
May God have mercy
Ah!
on their souls.
Presented by their mother, the Right Honourable Lady Featherington.
Well, those are some feathers. Ooh. Yes! Slow clap. That's a long bow. That's a really long one. So what she's doing there is a curtsy. Is that what it would have looked like? Absolutely. She did an amazing job. And interestingly, nowadays, we actually don't have to, when we do curtsy, pull up all the layers and pull up our dress to the sides because we don't really have that many layers. But back then, they had so many layers in petticoats that they actually would have had to pull up the sides to make sure that they could curtsy and get low enough. The other thing we see is the level of her head that bows, and then her slight, her eyes looking down, and that shows that she so admires the Queen. She really respects her, and she really wants to look good and show her a nice, low, steady, poised curtsy. Whoever you are winning at curtsy life.
For the other young ladies, even one's prone to
Ooh, whoa, what was that? Did you see her fit? Wait, I'm just gonna have to rewind that. I've never even seen such a thing.
I should not be surprised if this whisperer is revealed to be Violet Bridgerton herself. These pages certainly report on the
No. Stop right there. Okay, so that would not be how somebody would hold a teacup. I think she's doing actually a finger loop through, I think. But we wouldn't do that. Instead, we would take our two fingers, our index to our thumb, and we would pinch like that, and then it would be middle finger to support, just like so. And never, never, never would we do a pinky out. We would send it to the guillotine, so otherwise it's just like this.
indulgence indeed.
The pages report nothing but the truth, Lady Featherington. Daphne has bloomed exquisitely, and the sooner she is taken from the market, the better for the other young ladies. Even one's prone to hysterics in front of the Queen.
Okay, there, she had it. Did you see that? She is like a natural. That is more accurate of what a British person in high society in the class system would have been holding their teacup in that sort of way, and definitely not the first way we saw it. Ooh.
Is that not the young lady who was caught with that gentleman last year?
Very nice. Did you see that? They were holding the champagne glass by the stem and not by the bowl of the champagne flute or glass in this situation. But wait, ooh, what is this? Oh my. So actually, now what we just saw with the gentleman and the lady before in that scene was perfect. Now what we're looking at, is not correct. You never hold a glass like that at the bowl of the glass because it heats the liquid in the cup. So instead, we'd want to hold at the stem, no matter if you're wearing gloves so you don't have fingerprints or not. It's all about heating the liquid and keeping it nice and cool, as the temperature would have been perfectly established for them when they were served.
Chaperone. She's lucky her gentleman agreed to a hasty marriage after she went and ruined herself. Light skirts.
Light skirts. That's a new one. I have never heard that before, but let's talk about glove etiquette. So here we're seeing white tie dress code, which is one of my favorite in the entire world. Please someone invite me to a white tie ball as soon as possible because it's my favorite thing to dress for. Now you can see here, they're really following glove etiquette quite to the T. So gloves are worn to the event, during the receiving line, dancing, socializing, even drinking. But the moment you would sit at the table to eat, they would come off, one at a time. I just realized this is modern music in classic. Oh, this is brilliant. Okay, one thing on these jewels, these are fabulous. And so we know that this would have been post 6 p.m. because they're wearing all their big sparkly diamonds and jewels. So really you would wear all your big sparkles post 6 p.m. and earlier in the day would be more like your pearls and things like that. So this is very telling of the correct attire that would have been worn in a formal evening event such as this.
All of you at one table. And your children.
I realize it may be unfashionable, but we like each other. Most of the time. You should join us more often, Your Grace. Perhaps when we travel to our country seat, you would be most welcome.
One thing about the centerpieces on the table, you can see they've got the candles, but all the centerpieces are really low. So they're only about, looks like 6 to 8 inches high, which is excellent etiquette when you are hosting because that allows your guests to see over the table and make eye gestures, a little wink. If you need, but it allows conversation and social, social party to continue at the dinner table because you're not blocked by huge arrangements, floor arrangements, or massive candelabras that would block the view of everybody else sitting around the table.
Gregory, would you stop tossing peas at me? Those peas are already there. You cannot tell me what to do. I am old and I'm taller.
Children?
No, he does have a presence about him.
The one thing is that when you're talking, you're not holding your fork waving in the air. So that wouldn't really happen in a really formal dinner, but this is a casual one, so maybe they knew no one was looking. However, we can clearly see that they're eating in the British manner, which is fork in the left, knife in the right, fork prongs down, knife prongs down, and they're cutting one piece at a time and into the mouth like so. Now, whenever you see their fork just facing up, that was probably just a course that didn't even require a knife, hence the prongs were up like so.
Let envy descends in your voice. Judgment, brother. I shall need to witness this. You appear displeased.
Ooh, something's going on there with these two.
Do I?
We find ourselves seated beside each other, Miss Bridgerton. I'd like to think you're happy about that.
Perhaps, Your Grace. It would be better if you refrained from thinking about me at all.
Ooh. Now, one thing here is that during this era, it was very, very important that you would seat man, woman, or you would seat people next to each other that you knew would hit it off. So, because the whole rule is that after every other course, you would switch to whom you were talking to, left or right. So technically she would have been forced to speak to him. So I feel like this is a little bit of a setup happening here. If I have any bit of an inclination of what could be going on here, which I think I'm right. While this isn't Lady Whistledown, this is Myka Meier. I hope you enjoyed today. Please let me know in the comment section what you thought and if there is a show or movie that you'd like to see and hear my commentary on next. Please don't forget to like and subscribe to see more.